What's up, guys? I'm Tinashe Moyo, and welcome to another episode of Stride. On this channel, my goal is to inspire people to take the first step towards their goals in life using my personal experiences. And today, we have another special guest in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome my good friend, Prince Masuka, better known as the Speaker of the Truth. Brother, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How is it?
I'm fine, thanks. Compliments of the new season.
Same to you. Same to you.
How have you been finding 2025?
We haven't been. I haven't been able to nyatsoziva kuti zvakamira sei, but it's okay.
Okay. Yes. You're still trying to make friends with 2025?
Yeah, it hasn't been that good, but it's okay.
Okay. I guess we'll just have to live by faith at the end of the day.
Yes.
All right. So anyways, I think you can maybe just tell the audience a bit about yourself and your background.
Okay. So Prince Masuka is my name, as you said. I was born in Buhera in 2004. I grew up there maybe up until 5 years. Then we relocated to Rusape.
Okay.
Then from Rusape to Harare. Yeah. So I'm the firstborn. In a family of 3. Yes. Yeah.
All right. So Buhera, Rusape, then Harare.
Yes.
Like, how have these places shaped your outlook on life?
What I can say is that they have introduced me to a diverse way of life, cultural experiences. Having to grow up in a raw setup, unouzwa zvokuti unofanira kunge wakasimba muchienda kumombe, all that stuff. Then wozoenda kurusape utongoziva kuti vanhu vekwarusape nekuharare obviously they're different, so it is I have experienced a different way of life of people in those different areas. Yes.
Okay. So you mentioned that you are the eldest in your family.
Yes.
What lessons have you learned from stepping into sort of like a leadership role into the family?
Yeah, there is responsibility. Yeah, you have to be responsible as the firstborn child. You have to make tough decisions.
Okay.
You have to lead by example. Because there is this time, my little sister, akabatwa nemukomana. She was in Form 1, I think.
Okay.
So, so we were trying to discipline her, and then she was like, Prince anemkomana, anemskana, so why nini muruja say? Murontadzisawo. So izvozvo zvakava zvaita kuti ndione kuti no, you have to lead by example. Hauzofanira kuti kana yo, yes, I'm at the age where I'm able to have a girlfriend, but then hazikufanira kuzobva ndaita kuti zvibude pachena, because vana varofanira kudzidza kubva kwandiri.
Okay. All right. That's quite an interesting experience. I think personally, I can't talk about any of those experiences because I'm the last born. But I can relate to, I think, your younger siblings.
Yeah.
Because the older sibling is sort of like the deputy parent.
Yeah.
So
she will always want to be what I am, like everything I do. She always wants to do the same. Yeah. So I think there are some things I'm not supposed to do openly to the little children because they will turn up to follow what I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you also, I think just a brief conversation before today, you mentioned that your dad passed away, I think when you were grade 7.
Yes.
How did his passing have an impact? What kind of impact did it have on you?
Being grade 7, I will be then she don't want to, but then it just taught me to appreciate life. Yes. Him passing away, it meant that I was going to be the father of the house. So the responsibilities. Yeah, I was left with the responsibilities. So it was kind of tough, but takazongojaira.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, of course, I really do understand the pain of losing a father, and I'm truly sorry for that.
It's okay.
But yeah, it's funny in my case when people usually ask, like, how many boys are in your family? So when I tell people like I'm the only guy in the family, they'll be like, hey, yeah, your life is going to be tough.
Yeah, how do you manage? How do you manage that?
Well, at this point, me and my siblings are still fortunate enough that both of my parents are still alive. But I think generally there's some self-inflicted thoughts where you're just thinking like, okay, what if it happens today? What if it happens tomorrow? I don't think I'm ready for it. But then at the same time, the moment you try to make yourself ready for it, you're actually putting yourself in a really tough spot. So I ended up learning to take things one day at a time and just pray to God like, hey, I don't know what's going to happen. And especially looking at how we generally handle things, I think our generation, we are not as, how best can I put it? We are not as direct as our traditional parents. Like, these are people who really go hard when it comes to certain things, whereas we are much more laid back. So I'm always like, hey, so the day it comes, am I going to be able to do it? But I just had this inner voice that just told me, like, sometimes you get to learn, or rather take action when you're in the moment rather than now.
Yeah, that now that you've mentioned something about our generation, it's something better at my age right now. I don't even know what to tell a friend of mine. What words do I use to comfort them in those times? I honestly don't know. It'll be like, it's okay, my guy, it's okay, my guy. But it's not there, in my age. And sometimes, how do I comfort someone in those difficult times?
Okay. Yeah, I think it's quite normal. Tambika, actually. It's quite normal because I used to be like that. I think in my early 20s, I used to be like that. How do I comfort someone? But I think it also comes as time goes on, as you grow older, like, okay, this is what you get to say to people. So yeah, I think maybe in my own opinion, the best thing you can do when you're at a point where you don't know what to say is simply just being there, physically, just checking in on them. Then, eventually things will change.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So you also described church as like a major part of your life structure.
Yes.
So who in your family motivated you to start going to church?
Yeah, my whole family. I was told the story of my dad and my mom. They met at church.
Okay.
Kumba kwana momzi yangu wanapinda futi Anglican. Kwana mdara wangu wachipinda futi Anglican. So when I would go to holiday to my mom's roasted, tingu chipinda kwa Anglican. Ndikaenda kwa mdara tukwenda kwa Anglican. Tiri kuno kwa Harare. It's Anglican. Plus my dad he was in that leadership, in those leadership positions. So it also motivated me to be who I am today.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, that's good, because I think the family will always play an important part, especially when it comes to family stuff.
Yeah.
Because on my side, it was mostly my mom. We also go to the Anglican church as well. So my dad doesn't go to church, but I know he believes in God very much. So it was always a case. My mom would always be like, everyone.
Church.
You have to go up. Exactly. So it ends up being a a habit, and then it becomes a lifestyle.
Yes.
Where you're just like, okay, church always has to be church.
Yeah.
But I then got to a moment where I stopped going to church. I had served as a church warden for 2 years.
Okay.
So my last term was kind of rough because my other counterpart was no longer coming to church.
Okay.
So I had to deal with all of the church problems. And I think it was during COVID as well. So it was a really, really tough moment. And then I was just like, as soon as this term ends, I need like 2 to 3 months. I just need to take some time off from church.
Yeah, I understand.
So, I think some of the things, they fall back on us, some of the decisions that we make. But I'm glad that your family was the one that actually took action to take you to church. So while you've been in church, what have been the positions that you've taken, either in church or at area level, youth level, and even higher level as well? Which positions have you taken, and what are the positions that you aspire to to have in the long run?
So while I was still in junior church, I joined the junior church choir.
Okay.
So going to the junior church choir competitions, we would get senior choir members to come and teach us how to sing in all those notes. So this one guy, Vincent, he identified me and was like, my guy, you can sing. Why don't you come to the senior choir? I was in grade 7 at that time.
Okay.
So at Form 1, that's when I decided, no, I should join what? I should join the senior choir. Then I joined the senior choir. I was in the choir. Then I became a youth choir director.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I became a youth choir director. So then a senior choir director also. Then at youth level, I was vice organizing secretary. Then vice chairperson.
Okay.
But then that year first wacho akabhatiza so ndakaona zandi ndatoche then ndakava ndazoita chairman ndokuti ndakazotonyatsovoterwa zvisina kuti vice ndakuzoita chair, but then I had to resign in like 3 months because I was writing my A-level examination.
Okay.
So my mom was like, no, my guy, you have to leave this thing. You can't do this, So I just had to follow a instruction and I had to resign. Then at that time I was committee member at the area. At area, yes.
All right.
But I haven't been there. Area. Then this year, I was elected chair this year.
Okay.
So maybe maybe I'm going to be area chair or president, we don't know. Yes.
Okay. So it kind of sounds like you are becoming more of a prominent figure.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, but I wish you all the best, because I
thank you
know
very much.
the area elections are right around the corner.
Yeah.
So you have my vote, even though I won't be there.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's good, because I also think that the serving in church also prepares you for certain situations in life.
Yes, exactly.
So it's a good thing that you do participate.
Yeah, because I think being in the choir, there's this one guy who was in the choir. He was also a youth director, my senior. So he was like, he came to me and was like, you can sing. Where do you wish to go with your singing? And I was like, no, I just sing, you know. And he was like, no, you know what? I have a group, I have a cappella group that I sing in. I want you to come.
All right.
And my concert and all. And then I had to join the group, and it was on exposure yakawanda kune zvekuimba, you know. So plus being in church footy ukaita chairperson wakufanira kunge uri ndio uri pamusoro pakauya mavisitors ndio uri kuvatora uchiita sei. And then you see kuti kunze uku ndakutoshedzwa chinzi no we want an MC wouya wachitotorwa why because ndakatanga chiita kupi kuchurch.
Exactly.
Yes, so I think zvawataura kuti zvinova zvakupa more on life experiences zvinova zvabatana pakadaro.
Okay, yeah, that's a good experience. It's a good experience because I always tell people that for me to be able to be doing all of this, it was all because of church. Like doing those my Bible readings, kuparidza, all of that.
Really?
Yeah. I actually did preach yesterday. Like my 14. We're doing 14 days of prayer and fasting.
Okay, all right.
Glenn will actually tell you that I was preaching.
Okay,
So yeah. So I think church is like the best place to train yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
For the world. And so how has faith influenced your decisions as a content creator and aspiring journalist?
Yeah, I don't want to lie. I do not mix those things.
Okay.
I do not mix it.
I appreciate the honesty.
Because what I've seen with content creating, people vanoda zvinhu zvisina basa.
Okay.
Right. So with people loving zvinhu zvisina basa, if you want, you ukada kuisa your faith could know I'm a Christian. Ndofana kuabide by this. You see good if you have products you want to sell. Avafaka tengwa zvokumanya. Why? Because vanoda avadi zvinhu serious sterek. If you have seen it, avadi zvinhu serious but my jokes here zvafana music cheche. Music urira mazandiani. And I said in Kida and Madedido, you know that thing. But then music you ukada tell us about Madedido. Chinese wake up, what is that? Apana. So vana vanzoda zvinhu zvine serious. So inini I differentiate those things. Kuitira kuti kana kuri ku Twitter ando post according to what Twitter people want. Kana kuri ku TikTok I do what TikTok people want. Kana kuri ku Instagram what, but kana kwazo ku WhatsApp now that unenge ine manumbers evafundisi yechichi you know doko unozoburidza your faith kuti I know I should abide by this.
Okay. All right. I guess people's perspectives definitely differ in regards to the type of content that you are creating. But yeah, I appreciate the honesty since you know like it's the path you are moving in. And so what actually inspired you to start creating content, and what's your favorite type of content to produce?
All right. So I wanted to express myself to the people, and ndiri munhu anoda kutongo associate nevanhu vakawanda. So kukagadzira content ikabuda the vanhu vanotanga kutoya achida kuassociate newe, and that inspired me very much. Plus futi tichiona nevamwe vanhu vanenge vachiita zvinhu zvavanenge vachiita, because from being a content creator unokwanisa kuzoita social media influencer, from social media influencer or to maybe brand ambassador. Yeah. So izvozvo zvakabva zvandibata zvekuti it inspired me to be a content creator, and inini ndoda kuenda zvekuma jobs. Yes.
All right. And then you made the kuchirungu vanoiti a moniker, but we'll just use it as a stage name.
Yes.
You labeled yourself as Speaker of the Truth. What motivated that stage name?
It was Holy Ted. It was Holy Ted, yes. Okay. Holy Ted, but being Speaker of the Truth, it means you have to advocate for the people. You have to stand for the truth. But in Ini, I also use that name as a way to get myself impressions on those social media platforms.
Okay.
Rafana, if you take Twitter, for example, if you post something that is contradicting your name, people will come for you.
Okay.
right? They will come for you. Then I will use that to monetize my account because what I need is impressions to get money into my account, right? So if I say varume havadi zvakadai, but in literal terms varume ndo zvavanoda, people will start speak for yourself. Speak of the lies. You should change your name. You know that stuff. My impressions are kuya. They don't know that I'm begging my money ndikuwana mari yangu with all your impressions ndikuva ndatobeka because ini ndakamonetize account yangu. That's the ndo zvandoshandisa zita rangu. Yeah.
It's an interesting take. Yeah, quite an interesting take for sure. Because I think generally that's how content can be sometimes. Because I usually see some of the content creators online, like they tell you certain things. I think especially mono zim.
Yes.
Mono controversy.
Yeah.
You get millions and millions of
exactly.
Yes. So there was one person who actually came to me, why don't you have controversial conversations on your podcast?
Yeah.
But me knowing the kind of goal that I have, the kind of vision that I have, I unfortunately cannot have controversial conversations here. But I know there's a place for everything.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, if you want a controversial conversation, I can guide you to a certain podcaster who specifically does those things.
Yeah.
Then if it's me, because the way I set up my channel, it was based on my own personal experiences with depression and all of that. So my goal was to simply help people out there to no, you're not the only one who's facing these things. And at the same time, if there's something that you want to do in life, you can simply take the first step. It might seem scary, but give it a try.
Yes.
One of the motivating factors, Buhera. I started playing, I think about 2023.
Buhera.
Yes. So in my mind, I was just like, okay, my dad was well known for playing football because I Black Aces. So I was just like, Saka system. I just have to nurture that. And then my first game, it was a terrible game, but I actually learned something from that, and then I continued, playing, training, and I'm actually a bit better than what I was when I first played. I think it all comes down to So I guess it all comes down to the kind of vision that you have. If it feels natural to you, but I know in any controversy and all of that, then by all means, you can go for that.
Yeah.
So I'll actually credit you. I think on this episode, I've never spoken in Shona on this podcast. So you're actually the one to break ground. But I guess it just comes down to the kind of guest that I have. If it's someone anengatongori English all the way, then just opened up busy with some subtitles. But anyways, moving on. How has studying public relations shaped your understanding of how to communicate effectively with the audiences?
So public relations it's a subject that teaches someone to have effective communication with audiences. There is a need for effective communication, yes. Then there's also need for someone to speak fluently, be truthful about your issues, because as a public relations officer, you are the face of a company. So it means that you have to be truthful about it. You have to communicate effectively with your clients. You have to communicate every time you have to communicate every time. If in terms of a crisis in a company, you have to you communicate with your clients what is going on, what are the measures you are going to put so that the crisis is dealt with. So I think it has taught me a lot on how to communicate with my clients and also my recipients is on those social media platforms. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, and as an aspiring journalist, like, what kind of stories do you feel passionate about telling?
I think I'm just like you. I want to focus on stories that advocate for the children. By in that, I want to advocate for those people who are not heard enough. Those children who are kune vana vari kunze uko vari kuita zvakawanda but havasi kuwanisa kuwana platform yekuti vange vachioneka, right? So I want to advocate for those children. So isusu at school we have this channel, we call it the Children's Voices.
Okay.
Yes. So the Children's Voices it's all about children, the successes, the challenges, everywhere where a child's right is deprived of. That's where we come in. We take that child, we interview them, we do all the necessary things that I wanted. So in any, I'm all about advocating for the children. Yes.
Okay. That's that's interesting. And so how do you think social media has changed how journalism is perceived?
Social media has changed how journalism is perceived in many different ways. Number one could be that there is now more online readership than newspaper readership. So it means that news outlets have to venture more into social media stories than the traditional journalistic styles. And also we've seen that everyone now is now a journalist.
Okay.
I can take my phone and just post no pike accident, you know. So everyone is now a journalist, which are called citizen journalists. So everyone, so it gives us a platform where everyone can get different perspectives from everyone at every point. Plus social media is allowed for real-time reporting. You know, kana patoitika accident, you can see it kuti no accident yatoitika, rather than kuti you know that if an accident occurs today, you'll see it tomorrow in the newspaper. But with social media now, there's real-time reporting where you can get news at any time. But then it also has its disadvantages in the fact that there's a lot of misinformation that is spread on social media.
Okay.
People just spread information without verifying if it's true or not. So that is how social media has influenced journalism. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because it's actually a good thing to have things like social media, because I think back then, you know, well, not back then as such, but it's like nowadays almost everyone has access to social media. So anything that happens, you can quickly
Get in touch. Yes.
yeah, get in touch and get to know what's happening. I laugh sometimes, you know. Moms vangu vanozomboya kwandiri voti kuchwi ningirikini akadzingwa. I'm like, how? No. I was saying kuti the social media gives access to just about everyone. Like I was saying, kuti moms yangu sometimes can come to me and just tell me kuti coach we West Ham adzingwa vana coach akata. I'm like,
how do you know this?
How do you know? Mama zvibata ngoe andazvona pa Facebook or something. So everyone is always in the loop when it comes to
social media. It really gives a platform for audience engagement. You know, you can engage with your audience, knowing their likes and their dislikes. So if it's for a company, you can actually know if your product is doing well because of that audience engagement you are having with your audiences. Yeah, so I think social media has really impacted journalism a lot. Yes.
Yeah. I think it just comes down to how you end up using it as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's certain, I think it's like Instagram or Twitter. There's some stuff that you end up bumping into, and like, that was supposed to
what is
see
this?
and then you end up being glued to
that
kind of stuff. Because at the end of the day, it tends to also buy like chirwan wenyama. So there's certain things that end up hooking you.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if you are not supposed to.
Yeah, that's true.
Be looking at. But I guess, it's just a way of life. So, what challenges have you faced as a content creator, and how have you overcome them?
All right. So there is self-doubt. You can be doubting yourself. And all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then there's also room and space to do all the things you want, because you can be thinking of a video, but then no, you cannot do this, So those are some of the challenges. Then audience engagement, in the first days. So what I did to overcome these challenges was I would find people who are better than me.
Okay.
So with Twitter, if you find big accounts to associate with, those guys will be reposting your stuff. So with that reposting, you'll be getting engagements. So it's about your associations, like connections.
Not true.
So even in content creation, you need connections so that your work go well.
Yeah, and that's true, because in my own regard, I think ndakaita gore ndichigadzira content ndiri one. I think most of my videos throughout that year, I had 2 guests. Those 2 guests, they changed the dynamics in terms of how people viewed this whole thing. Because in my mind, I was just like, but the moment you start bringing in people, the audience, and then you actually see like, okay, so this is how you
should do it.
You should do it. So I think it just comes down to having an open mind as well. Okay, let me see if this works. Like what happened to today, like in this episode, I was like, okay, Prince and Shona, should I continue with English, or we just do venec and mix it up? But I take so much inspiration from Trevor Noah. Even in as much as 90% of his language is English, but he puts in,
some vernacular language.
Yes, vernacular. And so I'm like, okay, it actually makes those things more interesting. So I think in some of my episodes, I would even try and fit in just small parts, like, okay, that's how you diversify those things. So there's always ways to overcome the challenges in content creation. And so in terms of family and work, what are your strategies in regards to balancing those things?
I wouldn't say I have challenges in balances those things, but it's always about prioritizing. If you prioritize your family, you won't have a problem with anything, because all day you'll be at work. Then at night you're back home with your family. You just choose if you're about to pray, you pray as a family. You do that stuff. If you need to go out, you go out as a family. So it's all about prioritizing. Yes.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, that's India. My priorities are the best things in life, because I always think of things like these, because I also have an advertising / animation studio. It's still growing with my best friend. So those things can actually take up your time. You can get to a point where now zone into the work, and then you have less time to
The family.
chill with the family. So I'm like, I don't know, you need to pump the brakes sometimes when it comes to whatever you do, because these things might be there forever, but family won't.
Exactly.
So I think it's always a good thing to prioritize family. So what's your vision for the kind of impact you want to make as both a content creator and a journalist?
I want to be a respected journalist and content creator at the same time. Then from content creator to social media influencer, maybe a brand ambassador, all that stuff. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's short and straight to the point. That's actually cool, and I think that's the best way to do things. Like when you're working, always have a vision. Like, okay, I want to be, at this kind of position. Like in regards to what I do, I clearly told myself, like, I would love to be a mental health advocate, and even getting chances to speak in front of audiences, just sharing life experiences and teaching people from my experiences. So I think it's always good to have a vision, because some people might just get into it only thinking about the money. Of course, yes, money is a necessity. It will help you move from point A to point B, but the vision always has to be there. And so, as we wrap up, what advice would you give to someone starting out in content creation and journalism?
I would say one should just be authentic. Should keep learning. Build strong relationships with others. Then you will need online presence, a lot of online presence, especially if you need to be a journalist. With this revolving world, as a journalist, you need a lot of online presence. Also, as a content creator, obviously, you need to be online. So you just have to keep learning, be authentic, and build strong relationships. Yes.
Okay. That's good. That's powerful. I don't usually like to add on to a guest's advice, so I'll just leave it like that. There's a segment called Quick Strides. So it's simply a segment where we just ask fast-paced questions so that the audience gets to know you in a fun and light-hearted way. So it's usually 5 questions. So I'll go with the first one. What's one random or funny moment that happened while creating content?
So I was in A level. I was at school. So I just didn't know. I get this idea to create a video. So I was in class. So there's this guy. He had an iPhone. Yeah, back those days I was using a Samsung. So I was like, no, I need you to shoot me this video.
Yeah.
So he shot the video. Then I posted the video.
Okay.
The video blew up. Right.
All right.
Then at school there were people planning to do a prom night, and these girls, they advertised the prom using the school uniform, and our headmaster was like, no, I don't want that here, and they were prefects and they were demoted, and then in my mind I was thinking, my video is trending, and I was in uniform. I created the video in uniform, so while I was walking around the school, people were like, that's the guy. So I was thinking, koikasvika kuna head this video of which zvazviripo mavideo pacho, zvazvakanyorwa video pacho. Ndakatomboita anxiety zvekutodaro, because I was thinking kuti unogona kudzingwa chikoro, because I was in uniform plus head vacho. She was one of the late. Havaisatambisa because those guys vakademote just because vangango tra video vachitamba vachingoti come to our prom, you know, and then inini nezvananda it was something else. It was something else.
Okay, ingatsiyana nayo number 2. So if you were not a content creator or aspiring journalist, what would you be doing?
I think I would be a doctor. Yeah, I would be a doctor because I did sciences, but then I just decided to choose another path at A level, but O level I was in sciences. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in a way, we can say maybe what Dr. Norabavano through speech.
Yes. Through content.
It's like it intertwines.
Yeah.
In some funny way.
Sadness killer.
Okay. It's like the sibling, silent killer. Okay. Third question. One thing on your bucket list you're determined to cross off.
To have a better life. We can talk of everything, but Zimbabwean dream kuita denda negiza. I think Voss JT said that. So it's all about money to have a better life. So that my kids won't live the same life I'm living right now. To pay back what my mother did to me. Yeah, that's it.
That's cool. And our fourth question, what's the worst piece of advice you've ever received?
This one was from my friends.
Okay.
The people I play with. So these guys were like pango pacho so dakuti ita zvinhu zvekutongonzi uri murume.
Yes.
You know, I use that advice sometimes, but I know it's not the best advice. But kungonzi ita kutunzi uti uri murume, you know, when you are in those kind of situations, you always be like I can wait and kuti ndinzi ndiri murume, you know. So it's not the best advice, but yeah.
It actually reminds me of a friend of mine who lost his mother a few years ago. Saga, you could actually see that it really struck him because I know, like, the pain of losing a mother. So I think one of his relatives was just like, Shamar, Shingase Murume. Like, it's his mother. Like, she's not coming back.
Yeah.
Like, for good. So, like, you just need to let things out.
Yeah.
You know, so I think, but him advice, you know somebody, hey, but moving on to the last question. If you could collaborate with anyone in your field, who would it be and why?
If it's in the journalism field, I would say Ruben Baro. I just like the way he conducts his things, you know. Ruben Baro. Behind me is the president of the Republic of Zimbabwe, you know. So as you know, it really strikes me. So I think I would want to work with Ruben, and maybe content creation. There are a lot of people. There are a lot of people, and actually, you know that stuff. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So with that, we have come to the end of the episode. I really want to thank you for choosing to be a part of the podcast.
You're welcome.
This is not a dig, but it's just something I came up with just now.
Yeah.
Your name is Prince.
Yes.
And you were open enough to speak in Shona on some parts. So that kind of makes you Shona
Prince. Yeah, I like that.
It's just for today. And the funny thing is, the man behind the scenes is a huge Shona Prince fan, not this one, the actual Shona Prince. So he's just like, save us. But it's, I think, more than anything, this was a really fun and insightful episode. So I really, really do thank you for choosing to be a part of this podcast. And yeah, I just hope people got to learn so many valuable lessons from your story. So if you've been getting value from my content, do leave your thoughts in the comments section. I'd love to know what you guys think. Leave a like. Make sure you're subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. If you want to be a guest, like Shona Prince, you can always hit me up. I'm always an open book. We can talk about it. And if there's anyone you feel that needs to watch this content, do share the link with them so that they subscribe. So yeah, that being that, thank you guys for watching. And this is from me, Prince, and obviously the man behind the scenes, Glenn. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.